this lesson, I'm going to talk with you about this spell I did using demons for hexing and cursing, but I did it on mass people. So how did I do this? Well, you may have seen the short video I posted on YouTube. Actually, it was this morning, February the 1st. It's my birthday. And I got up at 2:30 in the morning to do a 3 a.m. casting. And it was for multiple clients that wanted some level of doom spell. Doom spells are death unto my enemy, which means hexing, cursing, bad luck, misfortune, or something else to happen to the target. Now, would I generally recommend this spell to a beginner or even to an intermediate class magician? And generally not. The reason why is because you need to be able to focus on the spell's intention just one person at a time. That's really important. But what I was doing in this spell was using my contact with my demon, with Astaroth, and to because Astaroth is known to orchestrate possession. And what I'm really offering the demon is for the demon to use his legions, her legions, whichever way you see Astaroth, to possess the targets that I have in the grid. So what I did was get up and prepare my altar. So let's talk about that. Oh, and the reason why I got up at 3 a.m. is because this was a time that specifically I felt called to get up, to do it in this level of the morning, so I'm not disturbed, and so I can sit there in the dark, meditate, focus, and really work on the spiritual connection without the disturbances around. And it's also when the spirits also like to do a lot of their malevolent work. And it's also important to note that malevolent type of work has to be done, or it's best done when the targets are sleeping, for many reasons, and you probably already know those reasons. So let's look at the altar that I set up before I started the work. So I have a black satin tablecloth that you'll see in a lot of videos that I do, and this is my altar tablecloth, and this has been consecrated. Now, I do videos on consecration. You can either jump ahead to that or refer back to that as time goes on. But I consecrate my space and I consecrate my altar materials when I choose, and that's a one-off. Okay, so I've done that before, so they're already consecrated and they're set for a purpose for this work. So especially when I'm doing this level of work, I like to bring out that black altar cloth. As you can see, there's that black necklace that I like to use. That's really important. I use it as a scrying mirror and also a portal for the demons to stay there if they so choose. I don't command them to stay there. And I wear that around my neck. And so people that can see spirits and demons will often see the images of demons or spirits in this when they're looking at me. It freaks them out a lot. I have a skull on my altar. Now, this particular skull isn't a real human skull, although I'd have no issue having a real human skull on my altar. I'm working on wood, a wooden grid, because I'm using black candles, and I'm going to be wrapping the base in foil and putting them in that grid. Of course, it's all wood, so if something was to fall and burn, it's not going to catch light and burn down really fast. I've got my Doom products there. You might have heard or you might have seen me talk about my Doom products. I do make my own Doom products. So I've been using those in this spell. If you didn't have Doom products, you could use commanding oil, commanding powder, black arts powder, any type of black magic powder or oil that you already have or you feel comfortable with is okay. If you don't have any and money is tight for you right now, go to your kitchen and just get something there that you probably already have that's very suitable for this work. Chili flakes, chili powder, black pepper, poppy seeds. All these ingredients are really quite popular for black magic work. Of course, if you've got rat sack, you could use rat sack. In fact, rat sack is in my June powder. Cyanide is in my June powder. What else do I have on my altar? Foil. I'm burning myrrh as my incense on the altar right now. So I am burning on a charcoal disc. I'm burning some myrrh incense in the background there, and you can see the foil. So let's talk about the foil. The foil is metal, right? It's basically an antenna, if you like. It's something that's going to ensure that the magical intention is captured and vibrates and really resonates within the candle, the intention. But so that's to set up the altar. Let's really look at what's going on here in this spell. So the first thing I did, what you can't see in the picture, is that under the grid there is another large piece of foil, like I created one already in my hand, a foil that was consecrated with Astaroth's seal or sigil. So what I did there was I did exactly like I normally do. I put the sigil on I draw down the energy, I put the sigil on my hand, and then what I'm called to do is I generally consecrate things with just a drop of my blood as usual, or a few drops of my blood. In the case of Astaroth, I was feeling very generous and feeling inclined to put blood drops all over the Astaroth's little dots, because with Astaroth's sigil, you're putting dots in every corner of the star. And I also use sex, masturbation, and ensuring that my offering was my orgasm and my orgasm juices. Sorry to sound crude, but we're talking off YouTube now, so it's going to get a little bit real. So I consecrate things with sex magic. So that's what my demon asked from me. Now, I was finding it a little bit hard to actually give the demon what it wants. It was not being hardcore, but I was getting basically into about an hour of preparation for this spell, and I still felt like I hadn't made a true breakthrough. So what do you do? What you do then is you call on the highest power of all. Now, depending on what book you're really reading, whether it's a Goetia, whether it's you have a higher spiritual energy than Astaroth, you could call Lucifer or Satan, Father Satan. You could call down on one of these higher level spirits, demons, to actually come in and give you a hand. So I said Satan. I don't normally say Satan because it's normally a Christian type of construct word, but the spirit knows what I mean. Okay, so I'm calling to either Lucifer or Father Satan to come down and allow Astaroth to give me what I need, right? To give permission to Astaroth. So I'm not saying to Astaroth, I don't want your help. I'm saying I'm calling down Satan to actually help in this situation. And so I'm calling down to Father to give me extra guidance, to help facilitate this communication, to make sure it's happening. I'm 100% in belief that the spirits are already present. There could be some other filters that I'm not connecting with the spirit because I've got a very busy mind. And I'm just asking for Father Satan to help facilitate this. Now, the same, so that's what I was doing at that period of time. And what came through to me while I was doing all of this was the offering that I had to give back to the demons for my spell casting to go ahead. So what I mean by that is, because I'm doing a multi-person spell, type of spell, a spell that is for multiple people, I have to create a pact with the demon to do that. So I'm consecrating the sigil of Astaroth to help me with that. I called in for extra reinforcements to get this done. But what came through as I'm preparing the sigil was that during this pact, I had to collect I know this is going to sound terrible, and this is why it's off YouTube, right? But this is what I'm going to have to do. And so this had to go into my pact. So if I wanted to cast hexes, curses, and death for all these people, the demons wanted me to give them this. So I can't judge that. I had to then write that down, and I've written that down on a piece of paper. And you know, I wrote down exactly what the pact is, and then I wrote down what I want from the demon as well. Okay, I want the demon to make sure that all of these requests for all of these people are carried out within 7 days. They have to. I want Astaroth to assign a legion or some of his demons to possess the people, to curse people, to hex people, whatever. In each of those little foil packets is the individual hex or curse. So each candle is a hex or curse or death sentence to an individual, and in each of those foil packets contains the person's name, the person's date of birth, maybe the location. Okay, so that's that part of the spell. So I wrote a pact with the demon told me what it wants. I had to call in for Father Satan, if you like, to really give the blessing and the go-ahead. It's heavy-duty work. So I was in the second hour of getting the sigil ready in order to be able to actually start the physical spell. So then I wrote down the pact. I really meditate on the pact, and I made sure that I didn't get any other messages from the spirits to say, no, that's not okay, or I got it wrong, or whatever. So then it was like nearly hour 2, and I'm going into actually the spell casting part of this spell. So for each person, what I had to do was prepare a black candle with the Doom oil, with the Doom powder, with the little foil piece, and really focus on the intention for each person, right? And so that's what you see in the top of the grid. Now under the grid is placed the sigil that's already been consecrated and has my blood on it, and basically it's my pact with the demon that everything in this grid is the spells that I want casted. Okay, so that took me probably about another hour, an hour and a half to do all the spell casting on top of that. So it's not an easy spell by any means. It's really full on. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to see the reality of spellcasting and demon work and what pacts look like, and the difference between working pacts and maybe a lifelong pact with a demon. So I hope this is getting your own juices flowing and giving you some ideas. I'm not suggesting that you do this yourself, but I'm educating you on what's possible, and maybe down the track it's something you want to consider, especially if you're spellcasting for other people. So I'll look forward to your questions, and I really do hope this has helped you. Okay, goodbye.